This was actually a live that we were in on June 10th, 2024. So it's a really good way of David explaining the flow state one on one. So let's kick it.
Flow State 101, a direct line to God. Allow the subconscious mind to unlock for you. All right, so you do not have to do this remote. That's the thing about flow state. This technique itself, once you develop that part of your mind, where you're able to disconnect from the three-dimensional world and get into that flow state, that alpha state, you only have to do it one time to know, to get that intuitive thoughts or actions to pick. And I'm going to get into all this, exactly how this works, because a lot of people have confusion, and I've gotten so many questions about this and the confusion that is behind flow state and what it's actually meant for. It's essentially, it's a visualization strategy, kind of similar to what Neville Goddard covers, but this is designed for immediate response as soon as you come out of your meditation, out of flow state. And I'm gonna break that down for you guys here. All right. So, and if you have any other questions relating to this, just ask me and I will answer. You do not have to do this for multiple hours or multiple days. It works when completed one time, but you must do it correctly. You must do it correctly. You must have total control of your attention in flow state. So it kind of goes back to the leaf exercise and developing that part of your mind. So if you're not able to use this, or you're having any, if you're having any issues using flow state, go back, stop what you're doing, and go back and start mastering the leaf exercise, the reverse course, counting $100 bills, even doing the ladder exercise. Go back, just take a step back. If you're not able to control your attention in a visual scene or in meditation, then just go back and start doing the inner work. And that's why we're here. That's why we've created this community. That way you have easy access to this, ask questions, and we can get to the bottom of that. That way you can understand exactly what you need to do to get to the next level. So you must have total control of your attention in flow state. If you cannot control your mind in meditation, you will not be able to control it in flow state. So you can just close your eyes and sit peacefully somewhere and kind of move your attention and direct it on something, whatever it may be. You can just direct your attention to one thing and see if you can hold your attention on that one thing for long periods of time without other thoughts coming, because the mind can be very, very tricky. It can confuse you, it can trick you, it can get you to think about something else, that falls deep within what you're thinking about, that may trigger something from the past or in the future, or something someone said to you over here or over there. So you just have to be aware of that and catch yourself as your mind starts to drift. And that's really important for these exercises to work. So a good way to determine if you're ready to use this is to try the leaf exercise to see how many leaves you can get to without your mind drifting. Totally agreed. So if you pass the leaf test, I think if you get to 10 or 20 leaves, you should be able to easily do the flow state. You should be able to do flow state very, very simply. I had to meditate quite a few times in order for me to use this, but I did have a natural ability. I had a natural ability, 100,000. I had a natural ability for this actual exercise here, even before I really had a good attention span. I was able to do this. I mean, I didn't land it every time, but I was able to do some sports betting and win a lot of money. And even in Las Vegas, I was able to win a lot of money using this flow state, even before I had control of the direction of my attention. But I find it to be much more simple and precise when you can control your attention. And it's just, if you're not in a state of overthinking, overanalyzing, and then it'll be much easier for you to get these intuitive answers and to make the right picks. All right, so the first step is to sit in a lotus position or half lotus position, or just sit somewhere where you're not going to be disturbed. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lotus, any sort of lotus position. You can sit in a chair and do it. You can even stand up and do it. So if you can get to that level. So, or just sit with your back completely erect, straight, not slouching. Be somewhere where you are not to be disturbed for about 20 minutes. Now, I want you to take 20 deep breaths. So this is going to get you in the state of relaxation, because you just kind of want to just take those deep breaths and just release yourself, find peace, okay? Because that's what stops the analytical mind. It stops the overthinking. It stops the pollution in the mind. and it gets you just to calm down. Everything is okay. Everything's working out for you perfectly. You're in a state of peace. Life is just tremendous, just as it is. And you feel yourself into this state while you're taking these breaths. So, and now I want you to contemplate, once you get into this relaxed state, this state of peace, where everything's just coming in, it's flowing through you. It's just, you're just in this flow where you feel great. You've detached. So now I want you to contemplate for a few minutes on what it would feel like if you were just born right this very second. So once you get into this state of peace, you get into this state of just being brand new to the world. You can even say this to yourself, in the meditation, not out loud, but just inwardly. I was just born to the world. I'm brand new. I just landed. My spaceship just landed on planet Earth, and everything is erased from my past. I don't have a past. I'm brand new. I'm able to create any new beliefs and consent to my world as being whatever I want it to be in this moment, because there is no past. I'm brand new. My mind is brand new. My memory is brand new. Everything is brand new. All right, so you have no past. You don't know your future, but you can create whatever you want in this state. You don't have any of these limiting beliefs anymore. All that's erased in this state. And the more you do this, the better you get at it. Like the more you can get into this peaceful state when you're taking your breaths and just feeling that everything's working out perfectly. I'm brand new to the world, and just being in this state of gratitude, like while you're doing this, it slows the analytical mind down to where you can accept new ideas. All right, so nor are you interested in knowing it. Okay, so you are brand new, like a newborn baby, not an actual baby. Okay, I got this question so many times. Am I really like an infant baby? Do I imagine myself being like a 3-day-old baby? And I said, no, it's not about actually literally being a baby. You're just brand new to the world. You just landed here. You're not an actual baby. You're still you. You're still in a human, full grown human body, but you're brand new. That's the mindset that you need to create within yourself. You're not an actual newborn baby. All right. So this is a technique out of Neville Goddard's Your Faith is Your Fortune. This is something I did get out of Your Faith is Your Fortune, but I used some other things with it a long time ago to incorporate this flow state. But he talked about this, getting into this brand new feeling state, like you were just brand new to the world. All right, so this technique is designed to release your ego. Because any idea that we are that we are separate from anyone or anything has to be rejected at this point. Everything. Okay, so I actually have a quote here. I was reading that before live. The idea of separateness must be denied. And when your ego is attached to something, or your manifestation or your world, your ego is attached to it, that means that you're pretty much saying that everything is separate, that you're not one energy with God. You're not God, because God is everything. All right. And you lose your power of God when you connect the ego and be like, this is mine. I'm creating this, sometimes when the ego is attached to it in that state, you can lose a lot of that power. So anything that remotely resembles any idea of separateness or that's of separateness, then that has to be denied, completely thrown out of the window. And before I carry on, there's another thing I wanted to mention here that I really have been working on myself, and I wanted to share this. So, and it's right here. Never accept as true of another person that you would not want to be true of yourself. And I've been working on that lately. I've been slipping kind of back into that, thinking of other people kind of not the way that I should, or I want to think of anyone else exactly how I would want to be, whatever I would want to be. I wouldn't want that to happen. I don't want to think of someone else being, in a bad state or a low state, because then that can be accepted of myself. Through the law of thought transmission, that's how that works. So this technique is designed to, I wanted to share that with everyone. It's something I'm working on, and I think that it's a constant working on. So this technique is designed to release your ego. It is vitally important that you release your ego in order to connect with God, your true self. Because God is everything. all consciousness. Okay, I am. All right, so when your ego is attached to it, you've lost the power of I am. All right, so that's when you have the power of God, is when you are attached and you know that nothing is separate, you have no ego involved. That's when you have the power of God, and any answer you need will be there because you are not separate anymore. And that's the whole key and trick to flow state, because when you connect to all things, you have all answers. All answers are there available for you. All right, you're plugged in now. You're plugged into the universe. You're plugged into everything, and any answer is there for you. Okay, that's when you have the power of God, and any answer you will need will be there. This is flow state. Now for the final step, after you have become completely absorbed in the feeling of being brand new and have released the ego, I want you to imagine in first person, thinking from it, not of it. So then we kind of go back. Once you've done the first step, then you kind of go back to Neville Goddard's original teachings. All right. You go back to his original teachings and you're thinking from an event. Now you're brand new to the world. You're completely relaxed. Your ego is not attached to anything. You don't have any selfish desires. You know that you are all, everything is all one energy. There's no separateness with anyone. You are everything and all consciousness. I am. Okay. When you get into this state, then you want to imagine in first person, seeing yourself now in the present moment, doing what you want to be doing, or I'll get into that right here. So thinking from it, not of it, of the thing you desire as being completely completed. Now place yourself in the scene in the future as if it were happening now. All right. So it could be winning the lottery, could be winning $3 million, getting a new relationship, or simply finding your car keys that you lost. The answer comes to you in this state. You are connected with God in your highest self that is God. I'm working on a flow state meditation track as well. Okay, so we're going to cover this more, and I'll take some questions on this. But essentially, like, I know I've explained this before, but I'll do it again. Flow state is primarily for coming out of, when you come out of flow state, there's going to be something right in front of you that you need an answer immediately for. Like if there were 10 boxes in front of you, empty boxes, one of them has, $10,000 in it. And you only have one chance to make a selection on that one box that has the 10,000. 9 of the boxes are empty. One box has $10,000. You go into flow state, and when you come out, you'll be able to pick the right box. You'll be led to it because you are now have access to all information. All right, you're connected. There's no separateness with anything. Okay, no separation whatsoever. All right, so concurrent viewers, 40. Good. Absolutely. Fantastic. All right, so if we have any questions on this, we will cover that. But essentially this is what all the questions I've been getting about flow state is about. All right, it's about, do I use this for something in the future? I've never used flow state for that. I've used this technique to get into a good feeling state, like as I'm going to sleep at night and then visualizing things. But primarily, I designed this for something that was working for me. I used this when I used to do like sports betting and different things like that, where I needed an answer right away. Like I was playing like 4 picks, sports betting on NFL games, college, NCAA, different things where I'm making a 4 pick where I don't know anything about the games. I haven't been following them very well. I don't know what the injuries are, but I want to choose between 20 different games that are playing, and I have to make 4 picks over and unders to the right, make the right picks in order to win. It's only 10 to 1 odds, but still, if you need information, as soon as you come out, you're going to be able to pick the right. You're going to be led to that because you've now connected with all information, like we went over before. You're now connected to everything. So, and that's the key. That's what flow state was designed for. And that's what it is intended to use. But you can also use it like this here. We'll go back into this, which is actually can be a really powerful way to create. But you just don't do the second part here. All right. So you're laying down. All right. So you lay down, and where you're not going to be disturbed, of course. But then you want to take your 20 deep breaths. You want to disconnect from the 3-dimensional world. Feel yourself at peace. Everything is working out for you and taking these deep breaths. You're brand new to the world. So get into this state where you're now brand new. And this is out of Neville Goddard's Your Faith is Your Fortune. He got into this just about creating feeling states, just about creating this new feeling that you're brand new to the world. You were just born to the world. You don't have a past. You can now change what you consent to be true of your world. Your states of consciousness change, okay, as you're falling asleep at night. Because as we know, throughout the day, you're kind of shifting to different states of consciousness. But before you go to sleep at night, you can create a state of consciousness and stay in that state of consciousness as you go into the drift, as you go into sats, as you impress the subconscious mind. And then that kind of creates a new version of you the next day. And then you know that you've created, that your manifestation is coming to you because you've now reflected back to your true self. And you can review your inner dialogue, review your state of consciousness, and be like, listen, I'm doing things differently now. And that's really the best way to determine if you've impressed the subconscious mind with a new feeling state as you're going to sleep at night, is by really just assessing your current concept of self. Because if you're trying to manifest something big to come into your life, and you're visualizing this every single night, but you've been doing it for 2 weeks, but you still feel like the same as you did when you started, that means you probably need to take a step back and start working on your inner dialogues and your attention, developing the facilities of your mind. Because once you land that, even one time, you're going to feel different. You're going to be like a different person. Maybe not entirely different, but you're going to be shifting, your personality, your avatar is going to be changing to this version of yourself that can now accept this new manifestation to come into your life in a natural way. You're going to feel the acceptance of that, naturally. And that's when it comes to you, is when you feel natural in that state, the acceptance of now having those things. So that's super important to understand that, how that all works with manifestations. Like, because if you're trying to manifest something and you still feel like you're the exact same person as you were before, like when you started, and you're still wondering why it didn't happen, and that's the whole reason why it hasn't happened, is because you're even reflecting back to that. Your new state of consciousness isn't going to be that. It's not going to be searching for those things. It's not going to be like, oh, when is my manifestation? Why isn't it here? That the new version of you is not going to be saying those things. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to accept the manifestation that is on its way to you, or you already have it. That's because you're not going anywhere to get it. You already have it. And as soon as you feel that to be true in your new state of consciousness, there's going to be a door that opens that's going to be led to you, and it's not really going to be this sheer excitement. It's not really going to be that exciting. And it may be, there's times like winning the lottery and things like that maybe when it happens, it's super exciting. You're really excited about winning. But most of the manifestations are going to be like a really natural feeling for you, because that's just who you are. You don't get what you want, you get who you are. And when you are that person, it's just like, okay, now I understand. I understand completely why this has come to me, because that I deserve it. This is something that, it lines right up with who I am. So it's not even this far-fetched thing anymore where I'm thinking it's way out there in this, holographic world far away from me, that, where I'm putting it on a pedestal and it's so far, and I don't believe that I could ever achieve that. It's no longer the case. You've changed your state of consciousness, and now it's on its way to you. All right, so we're going to go. Okay, so now we've covered flow state. I'll take some questions on this. I don't think
All right. Right, guys. So this was pretty much the presentation. The rest of the video is, the YouTube lives that we had with David. Questions. He talked, sometimes getting some information from here, from there. But anyway, so what do you think about this one-on-one presentation? Who was on that live back in those days? This was June 10, 2024. He was one of the first lives that we have on TWIAS. So somebody wants to share something. Somebody was in that call. That I was in that call. I was actually in that call, but um, I don't remember. I was looking for one of my notebooks because I used to write everything. But yeah, I had everything like right here. This is new. But tell me, what do you like about this one-on-one state? Does anybody has questions? So I'm gonna mute myself now.
I have seen this video before, but I have forgotten. And it reminds me now. I think this is very great.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Right. Um, Hilda, you wanna share something? I'm asking you because your mic is on.
Yeah. What I noticed about flow state was more of my children, and they're not around, they're grown now, but I enjoyed. I When you're aware, you probably try to practice it, but I enjoyed watching my children go in and out of a state of question and adjust themselves, and then just a knowing. So like he said, when you have to have a young mind, a baby mind, to see them, and as a parent you want to interrupt, but if you just let them flow. I think I'm doing it now because I noticed even uh answers are coming to me and you don't even know it. So without even being told, I think when he said something about uh how he feels about others. Right before we came into the thing, the first thing one of the things I posted was, don't judge someone else unless you say we, because that's been stopping me from judging people. So if I say, "Oh, you ugly," I say, "We ugly," and that slows me down, because everyone is you pushed out in the law of transmission, and I'm starting to adjust my thoughts. Just so yeah, it's all flowing. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Tilda. That was actually really good. Thank you so much. And yeah, that quote, I don't know if I got it right. Supposedly, I wrote this: never accept as true for others what you don't want for yourself. I'm not so sure if it's for others or of others.
Could you repeat that, please, James? I didn't get the beginning bit.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Never accept as true for
Oh, true.
others
Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
what you don't want for yourself.
Thank you.
What do you think about this quote that David gave us, guys?
Say it again. I've just finished the end of the day and I'm hungry.
What do you think
Never
about
accept the truth. What was it?
never accept as truth for others? I'm not so sure if it's for others or of others. What
Yeah.
what you don't want for yourself. Never accept as truth for others what you don't want for yourself.
Yeah. That is true, though. Why would you like, I'm not a friend of gossip. Yeah. So when people start saying, communicating about other people, but they don't know those people, even though they might be in the group, and a lot of people tell me a lot of things, but I don't. It's private. Yeah. It's not to be communicated or discussed just for the sake of people who don't know how to communicate and using it as an escape route because they're not happy within themselves. And I've said it to many people. I don't gossip. It's like, what relevance is this to us meeting up here? And it was like a very dear friend of mine. Oh, she passed away 18 months ago of cancer, and some of my girlfriends came round and I cooked dinner and everything, and then one of them said, "Oh, they don't know her. I worked with her. We are colleagues as well. And one of them was like, well, I heard it was this and this. And I looked at her and I said, no comment. I'm not discussing this. And please don't, I said, please, as a friend, I'm asking you, please don't make these assumptions. Do you need to know information? Just wish her the best and that her soul is at rest, and do it for everyone else. Yeah. And focus on yourself as well. Yeah.
I think that is Heidi Mata, I think that's
hey, Harold. Hey.
You judge others, you really judge yourself. So
Sorry?
when you judge others, in reality, you judge yourself.
Yeah.
That's the inner truth about it. To my understanding.
There's a lot of performance with people. They're saying one thing, but inside they're not doing it. Yeah. And I get it. It's not about perfection, but people, it's like people need the attention because they need to say something or not. It's being really comfortable with oneself. And sometimes the truth is, I don't know.
No. And I think, I repeat myself here, but isn't it like this? When you judge others, in reality, you judge yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All the time.
So,
yeah.
Let's stop judging ourselves, put it this way. And then I think it was Tilda said, she used we.
Yes, yeah. And a lot of people don't realize.
We are.
And we are love, compassion, and joy. But a lot of people don't realize they're actually in competition with themselves. Yeah. They think it's about other people, but I'm like, and today has been every client like, you're in competition with yourself. Could you just breathe, let go of the tension, so I can do stuff? And and they're like,
For me, Adolf Hitler was a very good example, or bad example, as you might say so, but he really hated himself.
Who's that?
Adolf Hitler.
Adolf Hitler.
The Nazi man really hated himself, and he projected it out to all the others. It was self-hate.
Well, I think there's a group. All up there in governments that don't really like themselves. They're all not really fit for purpose for their roles or for humanity. So they need therapy.
Yeah.
With no judgment, but at the same time, you get them at all levels, don't you? Unfortunately. Yeah. And also, even for someone like Adolf, it's a learning curve also, how not to be, how not to think, how to be with yourself, and how to care for others as well. Yeah.
I think self-love is really part of the key here.
Yeah, definitely. Self-care and self-love.
And if you manage, when you are there, when you love yourself, I mean, it's very difficult challenge, because we are very critical to ourselves, at least subconsciously. But when you really love yourself, it's the aim, at least, to go there, get there. Why should you then judge others? So it's really lack of self-love that is often reflected out as projection to others. Yeah. My opinion.
Yes, you're right. And I think the first thing people have to do is actually like themselves.
That's a challenge. Because people mix between egoism and self-love. And it's totally different. Egoism is a lack of self-love.
Yeah.
Egoism is a lack of self-love.
It says in Matthew chapter 7 in the Bible, just to bring a Neville perspective on this, it says, "Judge not, lest you be judged. And the measure that you measure against another will be measured unto you." So it's like you need to be gentle with yourself, be gentle with others, and like it's being everyone as you pushed out. So it's like you want to be self-reflective, and it's very wise to withhold from gossip, because it's like we can inadvertently, it's just have a log in our own eye, you want to remove your shortcomings, and it's like otherwise, if you do engage in those things, it creates that, and like we don't want to create that, like we want to before assessing someone else, we need to look in the mirror, right?
It's a
So,
distraction from creating, isn't it? It's like, hang on.
it is, and yeah, and it's so very wise, like you said, to just
Yeah.
don't even go there and just say,
Mhm.
you know, this is not wise to engage in this. Let's just send them love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Nice, guys.
Real quick,
Really nice.
real quick. This is Rose, by the way. I don't know what it says on my screen, so I just wanted to let you know who it is. I was just going to add to that about the gossip piece and like just, you know, I'm sure y'all know already, but like clarify, like there's like a difference, you know, and you can feel it energetically when you're not gossiping about someone, but just like genuinely concerned about someone and you're requesting like prayers or things like that. And I think that's always encouraging to do that for others. And it's, you know, I don't see that as gossiping for sure. So,
No,
but
that's not gossiping. That's good
yeah.
work. That's
And I
generosity
love that. And
and
if
good work.
anyone, actually speaking of, does anyone have anything that they would love to throw out there, like that we can imagine for you? I got here late, so sorry. I'm like, I don't know what y'all are doing, but I just wanted to join in and just say, hey, so I'm excited to be here. So.
I have an idea on that, and because David's court hearing is going to be coming up here in March, so I want us to all imagine and visualize that we're there and we're walking him out of the courtroom. Feel that we're bringing him out.
Is that right, Joe?
It is, Roger. Yep.
You better send us our plane tickets then.
I know we need it.
I'm gonna imagine you sending our plane tickets so we can go.
I know, right? I'm not going to be there, but I've just continued to, you know, visualize being there with him, and you know that we're there, showing up for him, and energetically, I know that we are. So it's like
That's what I meant. Our imaginary plane tickets so we can be in
oh,
imaginary.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're already there, you know.
Yeah.
Like I went to the court once to show up for him and support, and like there's a hotel right there, you know. So I was imagining I'm there and we're doing it, you know. But yeah.
Or even better, the end result that I keep seeing is that he's back.
He's on the screen with us.
He's on the screen, and he's discussing with us what happened and what he learned. That's what I see.
Yep, he's definitely. The things that he's been saying to me are just like it's a shit. It's amazing. And
he just needed a holiday, break away, and it's, you know, he's learning from it, which is really special, you know, for people. I like it when people are learning from what people assume are, you know, mistakes or whatever, you know. It's like, it's just a blip and it's just a part of you. It's not the whole of you. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, it's our higher selves are sovereign, right? So it's like if you need to like repeat something, like your higher self will totally go, okay, let's go back and do this again. And let's reset. You get that glean the wisdom from it.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing that he said to me that shifted me. He goes, "Burn the boats, Rajo. Burn the boats."
What does that mean?
The old self-concept.
No looking back.
Oh, no looking. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, and just like in World War II on Omaha Beach, you know, it was like, here we go, guys, let's go. You know, we can't turn around. There isn't anything to turn around to. There's only forward. The only way through is forward. And I was like, I'm with you. I got you. So
yeah. But you can say to him, yep, Nimata said she's seen you online. He's going to be doing more videos and he'll be discussing what happened. And it's going to be great because it's going to be inspirational for those that similar stuff has happened.
Yeah, this is real life, right? So
Yeah, and it's exactly,
amazing.
and that he can do it. Anyone can do it. I think he's actually said that. I say that a lot.
Yes, love it.
All good.
Nice, nice, nice,
Um,
good conversation. Hey, Sean, you
hey,
want to say something?
yeah, I just wanted to say that Keith had made a meditation of like us imagining watching David's videos. He posted it on the like original thing when we were trying to get the meditation put together. So if you guys wanted to listen to that, maybe I can repost it.
Yeah, yeah, I remember this. Yeah, definitely. Post it again to bring that back to the front.
Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, who else wants to share, say, or say something? Who wants to take something out of their heart? I want to say something about the flow state one-on-one, because I like how open David was on this live, or well, every single time. And he was saying that he used to use this flow state one-on-one when he was kind of gambling, getting something quick. Um, I think we also have to be careful because this can work both ways. It can work in a good way where we are visualizing what we want and everything, but also it can work in the other way around. We can be manifesting what we don't want just because we are feeling something really bad. And I'm saying this because on the WhatsApp group, I don't know if it was in the WhatsApp group or in another live call, Peter said he shared with us that he was having some issues in some area of his life. And sometimes we are feeling, down because, I don't know, things around our life, maybe bad energies or whatever. Um, so we have to really be careful because I think it's really, really simple, really easy for us to visualize, maybe to manifest bad things because we are not connected with what we are doing than good things. Well, maybe sometimes when we're like, sleepwalkers and everything. But I wanted to share that because I think it's important to know, to realize that every single time we're visualizing, and especially if we are having some bad things coming through our life right now, hey, we created, we made that happen. So we can do something about it. We can do this flow state. We can go to meditation. We can feel, and especially we can ask ourselves, how would I feel if everything was right or was correct in my life? So yeah, I just wanted to share that about flow state one-on-one.
That's a really beautiful thing to say, actually, James, because that's what I focus on every day. And you need to write it down. It's a great exercise for everyone, actually. Forget about what's going on in your life, all the bad stuff. Yeah. And go into what is it that you want to be doing if you had everything in your life when you wake up in that morning. What is it that you would do for the whole day? And then write it down. Then do it for the whole week. Then the week after. And the week after. You've got everything you want. Focus on that and step into that and just write that down. I think James and I have been working on the same stuff.
Yes, we have to, because Martha, sometimes um, keeping with a good flow state, with a positive flow state, that's something that that we have to do consciously, because
Yeah.
unconsciously, for every single thing that we have in our lives, you know, even the politics, even the things that are happening on the TV, they, if we're not careful, all these little things wants to control us. So every single time we're manifesting wrong things, the wrong things, if we are not conscious of it. So if every single week some people or most people are manifesting bad things because they have a bad view or a bad feeling, hey, we have to actually have in mind every single time, every single day. I don't know, maybe have an alarms or something to remind ourselves to stay in the in a positive state. Because if we stay in that positive state, well, good things are coming. And actually, I'm saying all this from experience because sometimes I forget, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do whatever, and then 2-3 weeks later, my life is going all crazy, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? Okay, yeah, it's myself, because I was distracted and I was only going to the bad flow, not my flow. But yeah, thank you, Nimart.
You're welcome. Yeah. No, it's easy. There's a lot of the simulation has a lot of distractions. So choose well in your friendships, who you spend time with. And it's okay to be with people who are creators. If they're not supplementing you to empower and encourage, you know, you don't have to tell people what you're doing, but it has to empower you so that you still feel good in what you're doing, and you know how to, you know, get rid of the doubt and so forth as well. Yeah. But it's a really good exercise, because I get really excited when I'm like, oh, what is it that you want it to be? What's that? Okay, I look at my diary, but then it's like, what is it that something else you would like? And I just get so excited about it, because it's going to happen. Start off with a day. We've all got the weekend coming, so, you know, just do it for 5-10 minutes. You know, you've got everything you want, everything, whatever it is, money, career, success, the relationship. So when you wake up in the morning, what is your day going to be like with what you've got? What is it that you want to do? Those are your end results. Start off with the day, then go from there.
Yeah, that's actually powerful. And something that you said, it hit me really, really hard. When you said, well, I take your words as I'm about to say. If you're dreaming about it, if you have it in your mind, it's going to happen. So it's going to happen. That's why we want it. That's why we're vibrating towards it. So it's going to happen. That's why I have this background, because in my mind, I'm not so sure, but in my mind, that's Sicily. And when I see that background, I'm in Sicily on my vineyard. So that's where I am, right here, really close to some of you guys. So yeah, it's going to happen.
And people, if you get stuck, just go through magazines or something that inspires you, like James is saying with the background. Yeah. And like, I found certain properties and I'm just like, I can see me there. But I'm also doing my other activities, which I enjoy as well. Yeah. This is good. Thank you, James.
It is. Thank you, Marta. Hey, who else wants to jump in? Who else wants to share something?
So I'll jump in. This is Rose again. So y'all were talking about like along the or you, James, specifically were talking about like feeling, things, and then sometimes like how you can accidentally create something that's negative or whatever. Is that correct? Is that what I
Well,
interpreted? Is that what you meant?
yeah, we were talking. We watched a video of
Mhm.
David
Okay.
talking about flow state 101, and he was saying that he uses this technique. Well, he used to use it for gambling, and when he went to Vegas and things like that, when he wanted to create something fast. So he was just doing this meditation, and he was feeling the state. So he knew where to bet, how to choose something. And what I was saying is that as easily as we can do something good, because
Mm-hmm.
if you imagine something like that and it's for your own good, it's good, right?
Yeah.
We can also do it for bad things. And no, sometimes it's really normal for us to imagine bad things because the things surrounding us, the news and everything. So sometimes you have this feeling, oh my God. For example, I don't know if you heard, um, not too long ago, it was a big news here in Mexico that there was a big fight and everything. They got this cartel guy
Yeah.
and on Sunday, and many people were really scared. They were like, "Oh my God, they're gonna take the whole country." But when you were actually on the streets, well, here where I am, you don't see anything like that. Only in the news. So if you are doing things from fear, well, you're gonna manifest fear. So if you're feeling things from something positive, you're gonna be manifesting something positive. So that's kind of what I was saying.
I gotcha. Okay. Um,
Mhm.
so like it's not exactly along those lines, but something similar. But some people in the school group were asking about like how you can take, your mental diet, which is not necessarily what you're talking about, but it's something similar in a way because you're letting that mental diet of them overcome your mental diet of what you should be in training on yourself, right? That's what we should be doing is like we should have our own mental diet and consuming the content that we are in alignment with and hopefully inspires us. And so they were talking about the mental diet and they were talking about how they have negative chatter that goes on in their head and how, how they would go about changing that and just becoming more aware of like, how our minds have been trained to be negative, right? Like we've been influenced a lot by like the world, like you've said. We've been influenced to have that negativity suppressed into us to see all that and to express it. And so we have to literally mentally every single day, at least I do a lot of times, like even to this day, not necessarily as much as I used to, obviously. It's gotten a lot easier and I recognize it quickly, but still sometimes I get there. I have those negative thoughts that enter in and I have to like mentally clean them out and like whatever techniques you can learn. Like I know Dr. Joe Dispenza, he teaches one that's like as soon as you start hearing like that negative chatter come into your mind, you say the word change and then you replace it with like a new response that you've started conditioning in meditation. So not just like, like you're taking the meditation and you're putting it into practice in real life there on the spot. So,
That's wonderful, Rose. I like that.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
taking
it
back the
ties
time.
in.
Yeah,
It's not
it
exactly the
is.
same, but
Yeah.
it definitely ties into like all of what you're talking about. So,
Yeah. People, you have to. A lot of people are used to this critical way of speaking and to themselves in their head, and if it's not about themselves, they're criticizing other people, and that's not goodwill to others.
yes, that's
And
true.
that people don't realize that if you're thinking all of this negativity about someone else or about yourself, you're harming yourself and that other person or whatever you're doing. That's just, it's not goodwill to be constantly whatever it is that they're thinking, but they need to learn to really change how to communicate, because a lot of people are, oh, it's so hard. I'm like, well, can you just change the word hard to easy? Can you just do that? Yeah. And it's also the way people are communicating. So it's learning to use and change that language instead of being influenced by everything. But I love that. Yeah, I've done the stuff with Joe, and it's brilliant.
Mhm.
I say fun. For me, as soon as I say, hey, that it's fun, life is fun, I'm instantly there. I'm not even, I don't even have to do it that often, actually. But yeah, people need to find that way, that not to be constantly criticizing the chatter within themselves or about other people, because that's again a distraction from
Yeah.
creating. Yeah. And the more we start creating and the more we're in unison and united in that together, not only is that enabling you to connect to your heart and manifest, can you imagine the whole of this group connected? No negative chitter chatter botter in your head, yeah, about anybody or about yourself. You'll manifest things like within a heartbeat.
Nuhala, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but she had named the negativity Karen. So anytime she had negative thoughts, she would always say, "No, Karen."
That's a good,
And I thought that was really funny.
yeah, that is. Yeah, because you're kind of acknowledging it, but you're like, oi, go away. I do that sometimes. I'm like, just go away. Here's the door. And slam the door.
There's actually an author, or I don't remember who, but not too long ago, I heard or read something that says to place a name to this bad talk that we have in our minds. So maybe give that little voice a name, maybe like no, Julia or not Julia. I don't know how to pronounce her name either. Said Karen, and you can name it something that you like, so you can catch it every single time. You can catch it. But yeah, and on this group, on this call, we have veterans of the law of assumption, like Harold, Terrence, and many of them. So what do you guys think about this? What have you learned? Because I know many of you are really knowledgeable about the laws and other authors. So I don't know if you're able to share something with us, Terrence or Harold. Maybe they're just busy.
Well, I'll add on to what I was talking about earlier about tracing that feeling or whatever, right? And changing the
Sure,
thought. And
sure.
then today I was kind of analyzing in myself because I had some feelings come up that, like some disappointment or something like that that came up. And it wasn't necessarily feeling so great. So I was in thought thinking about it. And I had to start thinking about, okay, like, well, why do I, instead of like, okay, so this other person, because like, my natural thought pattern is to think that person is making me upset, right? And I had to catch myself, like, okay, there's that old pattern of like how they taught us how to think, right? They taught us how to think to put ourselves outside of ourselves, right? And that person's influencing me. No, that's not how it works. It's me influencing how I feel. So I have to search inside myself. And so I had to do that today and search inside myself of like, why am I feeling the disappointment and this? And like, how can I change what I'm doing to feel better about it? So I don't know if anyone else has any other input on that, or like you have any other layers you want to add in, because like this can keep going with more and more layers of stuff, like of how we think and process things, and like how you can feel it in your body, and how you can use how you feel that in your body. If it's a negative feeling, you can actually like start meditating on that like right then and there, and like shrinking that emotion in your body. And then you can focus on using a positive emotion and expanding that. So like after you're done like analyzing your stuff that you think about, you know, like you have that feeling that comes up. Let me back up. You start your day, you have that feeling that comes in. You want to pause, you want to change the thought, you want to change the feeling right there. And then what I personally like to do is I like to sit and feel like, why did I feel that, and think about it, and where do I feel it in my body, and then how can I physically change that right here and now and change it into a positive energy instead. And how can I, instead of feeling that disappointment, how can I take it and spin it into a positive energy and actually send it back to that person as well?
That's good. That's powerful. So what you were saying is, um, if sometimes when we feel a bad emotion or thought, sometimes we feel something in our body, and if we find where we are feeling, we're connecting with our body to change it, something like that.
Yeah, so like kind of like on the idea, Eckhart Tolle talks about it some too, you know, like the pain body, like you have a physical pain body in the 3D as well. So what that's, you physically feel it in your body, you know, like, and you know, people have been studying this stuff, like you can show like different organs or places in your body, you know, like acupuncture, there's a reason for all that stuff, right? That show like certain areas can also correlate with emotions, but I don't see that as much as importance, like, because like, okay, well, whatever, like, I don't care as long as I can feel that feeling and then I can start dissipating it out of my body and releasing it and letting it go. That's the major importance of that, like being able to hone in on your body and then sending that energy of release, and then embracing something, like fill that vacuum, because you know nature does not like a vacuum. So instead of having a vacuum there, you fill it in with like another lovely emotion that you'd rather feel, like joy or peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Those are my favorite ones to list because they're out of the Bible. But anyways.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. I want to propose a challenge for this week. That's something that most of us are doing or on daily basis, but since the month is really close to an end, let me see. This is the last weekend of the month. Well, actually, the month ends in 2 days. So I was wondering, what do you guys think if we start from today, the gratitude crash course for 7 days, gratitude crash course, and then we do this follow up on the WhatsApp group to see how everybody is doing. We encourage everybody on doing it, or we can explain to somebody that doesn't know how to do the gratitude crash course how to do it. But what do you guys think if we start that challenge today? What do you think?
I think it's a good idea.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, Rose. I don't know if you can text me your WhatsApp number so I can add you to the group. Well, if you want to be on the group, right? Maybe you don't want to be, but if you want to be, send me your number or send it to Krista, and we add you to the group.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
you're in the group.
I'm in school, right? So, but do you have a
No,
WhatsApp
yeah,
group
but
as well?
I think I have you on WhatsApp.
Maybe. Let's see. I don't check WhatsApp that often, so. No, there is. Ha. Yeah, because I didn't check it. That's why.
Yeah, Rose J, right?
Yep, that's me.
Yeah. Okay, you're right there. But yeah, so
Awesome.
let's do that, guys. Let's begin with the gratitude crash course
Just,
today.
did you want us to write a gratitude in the WhatsApp group, or just do it? That's okay, because
Oh, what do you say? I'm sorry.
I know you're saying to start the gratitude crash course, but we don't have to put our gratitudes in the group, do we?
No, that's private.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah. And if somebody doesn't know how to do the gratitude crash course, I think all of you know how to do it, but maybe Gabriela doesn't really know how to do it. You can ask us, or maybe we can direct you to one of the videos, or if somebody wants to explain it right now, we can do it. But yeah. All right, guys. So somebody else wants to add something before we close this beautiful day? It was a nice, really good live call. I like it. I really like it. Thank you all.
Well, thank you. Talking through what we talked about helped me also just now, like, unlock a little bit more extra stuff, a little bit extra wisdom. So appreciate it.
Thank you, James. Really appreciate it.
Also from me, thank you, James.
Good stuff. I got to bounce for another meeting. I love you all. Bye for now.
Take care, man.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Okay, cheers, James. Enjoyed our mate. Good one this time.
Ciao to everyone.
Take care, guys.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next week, man. Bye.
See you Monday.